One of the most likely questions asked by children is which animals are the strongest overall. It is fascinating to know which animals would win in a fight between two different species and to identify which animals have the most power. To begin with, it is necessary to clarify that it is impossible to categorize animals as stronger in general. Even very little animals have the potential to attack everyone else because they are capable of exerting greater physical effort. All academics agree that one of the world's toughest creatures is the rhinoceros beetle. This illustrates how relative animal power is. Theoretically, if this animal were to meet with a bear, it would lose, but comparatively, it would be considerably stronger than the bear. In fact, it is the strongest animal in the world and can lift objects that are 850 times its weight. He still manages to walk consistently in the same direction and at the same speed even when lifting incredibly big goods.
Number 2. Grizzly bear.
A prominent subspecies of the brown bear, the grizzly bear gets its name from the English word grizzled, which meaning grizzled. Only in very few instances have groups of grizzlies been seen, otherwise, they prefer to live alone with their family in Alaska's vast wilderness. If you want to see this animal in its natural habitat, you must travel to Alaska. There, where the salmon swim against the current, the grizzly bear engages in its fabled fishing to feast on the hundreds of fish that jump out of the river. They believe that the salmon binge gives them the fat they need to survive the winter. Even though the body is covered in white or graying tones, the fur is often brownish. Although it may appear to be a slow animal at first, it can actually exceed 48 kilometers per hour. Since of this, they are dangerous predators of people because they may surprise their prey if they pose a threat to their young.
Number 3. African elephant.
The African elephant, Loxodonta africana, is one of 3 species that make up the Elephantidae family, the only living member of the Proboscideans order as of this point. Indian elephants and African forest elephants, which were just recently classified as a separate species from the other 2, are close relatives of African elephants. It is a weak mammal whose survival is seriously in jeopardy due to the intense hunting pressure it has experienced. The African elephant is equipped with enormous ears that not only allow for superb hearing but also, and most importantly, help to disperse the intense heat. It differs from the Asian type in various ways physically, starting with a bent back and a protected flattened frontal skull form. The male species tusks are very long, exceeding 1.5 meters in length, and the proboscis has 2 extensions. Its curving tusk gave rise to its scientific name, Loxodonta, which in Greek means crooked tooth. The sub-Saharan region is the usual habitat of the African elephant. They frequently live in forested savanna, while they don't mind being in forests. The availability of waterways close to the location the African elephant has selected as its home is crucial to its survival. Although Namibian individuals have evolved to thrive in desert surroundings, it is impossible to imagine an African elephant living contentedly in such a climate.
Number 4. Worker ant.
The ant is a common critter that many people recognize and adore, which is unusual considering that hardly any insects have ever received such adoration. Even the most novice people, who have no interest in studying the behavior and lifestyle of small animals, are curious about the life of tiny but incredibly interesting ants. Ants are truly ancient species, discovered since ancient times, and whose activity has always been observed. Ants started to exist on the surface of the Earth 168 million years ago, and they have been quietly evolving with other kinds of little insects ever since. The ants utilize pheromones to communicate with one another, and many of them construct ant hills where the social structure is extremely obvious and neatly split into different jobs among the species present, just like it is with bees and beehives. This social structure, contrary to popular belief, not all ants live in this manner. Some ants are nomads, even if they maintain a small empire that may never produce a fixed anthill and will likely change several times until all of the specimens die, even though they frequently reproduce. Number 5. Gorillas. The largest member of the anthropomorphic ape family is the gorilla. Its dimensions are really astounding. An adult male big specimen can even reach heights of over 2 meters and weigh up to 300 kilograms. The skull has a strong development as well, and it is distinguished by extremely broad nostrils, very near, and mobile eyes. Strong teeth with strongly developed canines are housed within the protruding, hairless muzzle. The leather covering the body is extremely thick and bristly, centered largely on the bust, and can range in hue from brown to black. Except for the measurements, which are slightly smaller for the females, the specimen does not exhibit many differences in traits between the sexes. Families of the species, which are not very numerous, typically consist of a huge, adult male, a few female individuals, and a specific number of young of both sexes who are offspring of the union of the family's head and his mates. The group doesn't appear to have a permanent residence. Instead, they like to roam around a certain neighborhood during the day in search of shoots, leaves, fruits, and roots to eat. The females and the young members of the group set up their bed on top of the plants once they have located the ideal location, while the adults stay on the ground to guard the group's weaker members from potential predator attacks. In the evening, gorillas seek refuge in areas with denser vegetation. The gorilla, despite its not exactly comforting appearance, is generally social and placid, and when it sees a man, it prefers to flee to becoming aggressive. Number 6. Tiger. The tiger is a big mammal that belongs to the panther genus and the feline family. Given that it may weigh up to 300 kilograms, it is the largest cat that has ever existed. The size varies depending on the species. The Siberian tiger, for instance, can grow up to 3 meters long, while the Sumatran tiger, for example, weighs no more than 140 kilograms. The unique coat of this feline is distinctive for having black streaks on a light background that can range from light brown to white. Its rounded, dark ears with a white patch in the middle. The spherical pupils range in color from yellow to green. Thick whiskers are present on the muzzle. The canines are especially sharp and even 10 centimeters long. His hearing and vision are well advanced. The tiger can see clearly even at night thanks to the unique structure of its eyes. The Bengal tiger, Siberian tiger, South China tiger, Indo-Chinese tiger, Malaysian tiger, and Sumatran tiger are only a few of the many subspecies. The presence of several water sources, greenery, and animals to hunt are characteristics of tiger's habitat. It can be found in birch and coniferous forests, as well as tropical and wet forests. The tiger is a very adaptable cat that can live both in humid, hot climes and in regions where the average winter low is -0. Number 6. Harpy eagle. The harpy, a member of the Accipitridæ family of birds of prey, is the largest eagle on Earth. The female, like with all species of birds of prey, the female is larger than the male in this species, can grow up to 110 centimeters in length, have an astonishing wingspan of more than 2 meters, and weigh 8 kilograms. Ash gray makes up the bulk of the plumage, with a huge white spot on the belly. The species is found between Mexico and Argentina throughout a sizable portion of Central and South America. It lives primarily in rainforests at elevations lower than 900 meters. The vast deforestation and agriculture that are destroying the harpy's favored habitat have led to its designation as a species close to threat, despite having a fairly wide range. Social life and behavior. A fearsome huntress, The harpy exhibits strength and physical vitality that are practically unmatched in the animal kingdom. With the help of her powerful claws, she can lift prey that is as much as 3/4 of her own weight. The majority of the species' prey are small mammals including monkeys and sloths, opossums, birds, snakes, and iguanas. The prey is seized and brought to the tops of the trees, where it is then cut down and voraciously consumed. Number 7. Anaconda. One of the largest snake species in the world is the anaconda. It is a member of the boid family, which also includes boars and pythons, and is frequently referred to as a water boa because of its prowess as a swimmer and the fact that it spends the most of its time in the water. Anaconda specimens can weigh more than 2 quintals and reach lengths of up to 10 meters. They kill their prey through compulsion, which is to say that they wrap them in their coils and suffocate them until they die, because they are not venomous snakes and as a result lack the toxic teeth typical of other species of ophidians. It typically surprises its target by attacking them as they approach the river to drink while hiding on the water's surface. They kill their prey through compulsion, which is to say that they wrap them in their coils and suffocate them until they die, because they are not venomous snakes and as a result lack the toxic teeth typical of other species of ophidians. It typically surprises its target by attacking them as they approach the river to drink while hiding on the water's surface. The anaconda's native environment consists of moist, marshy areas with water, dense vegetation, a moist undergrowth, and a bounty of putrescent vegetables. Because it spends a significant portion of its day hiding and waiting for prey to attack, this ophidian is typically found close to rivers and ponds. Number 9. Crocodile. The crocodile
And
is a
today they're the
sizable
most
aquatic
monstrous
reptile
and
that nearly
powerful of
always
all
dwells in
reptiles.
water. Often,
They
all
are
that can be
cold-blooded,
seen sticking
reliant on
out
the
of the
sun's
water
rays
to
to heat them
breathe
up,
is the
so they live in
crocodile's
warm tropical
nostrils.
places.
These are difficult to see
Equally at
because they
home
are
on
in the
land
upper
and
jaw,
in the water,
where the
crocs
body
have
can
even
still
been known
breathe
to
when
swim hundreds of
submerged
miles
in
at sea.
water.
When on the hunt, they can swim
Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, remember to subscribe and leave a like. See you next time.